what was trying to be discontinued. 1995, Supreme Grand Council, they stood up and say the prophet's grand body is no more. And I said, no, Joe, that won't go. No, Joe, that won't go. That won't go here. I said I will continue on. They said, well, Brother Rael, we're going to make you a supreme member of the Supreme Grand Council. I said, all is well with that idea. Well, guess what? The grand body still, but the grand body still, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. We're talking about the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. What is this? What is this round? What is this that surrounds me? Allah's loving arms. What is this upholds me? Allah's hand.
Islam, Islam, Islam. We first rise giving eternal praise unto our Father God, Allah, giving highest honors to our holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, as this is another edition of Let the Truth Be Told. This evening, the Mahdi will be demonstrating who's who in this Moorish drama. Who's who in the Moorish nation. So stand by as we continue to rise. First, we're going to invoke, as always, opening with our Moorish American prayer. For those who are Moorish American, you may join. For those who are not, you may remain silent in benediction as we open up. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam, Islam, Islam. We praise Allah for giving us another day to correct the errors of our thinking, actions, our words, and deeds. We give praises to Allah as He is the only one who is praiseworthy. He is most beneficent and oft-giving. As Allah has given us life, He will cause us to die and give us life once again. How ungrateful then is man of the continual benefit that Allah allows man to repent from his sinful ways. As we give praise to Allah for sending us in the special part of Himself, clothed in divine flesh, in His most noblest image of Allah in the person of our holy and divinely ordained prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the only American-born prophet in this era time. As we give honors to all that is Moorish, as our holy and divine prophet is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the educational branch of this Moorish nation. And as we ended our Sunday school this day, as the guiders of the nation comes out of the Sunday school of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So who's who in this great drama of the gatherers of the nation. As you heard our opening song, Controversy, what can be more befitting than you to go out and purchase one of these? The Controversial Years of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the first edition, or should I say part one.
Yes, part one.
So without further ado, we're going to turn the meeting over to our Moorish Mahdi, our Chief of Ministers, Sheikh Dr. Rasadi Hill, the true Moorish historian, and one who was divinely inspired and guided by that of Allah's own spirit. So without further ado, we yield the meeting. Islam.
Islam, Islam, Islam. I rise, give perfect praises to Allah. Give honor to Allah's strength made to manifest our holy prophet, Jew Ali, this day, yesterday, and days yet to come. Islam, Islam, Islam. Go hand me that green one. Let me see, it might be in there. I'm looking for a particular demonstration, y'all. I thought I had it up in here, but I know, I took it out. I had to use the government. So, let me see that. Now, I have tons of original letters and documents still that most Moors don't have. Most Moors have never seen. And what I'm doing, I'm spending my time trying to get it ready for the nation of the people that should come after me. And by that, you'll be able to pick up some original documents and exercise your file on those documents. So you can see with a crystal clear mind what the prophet had. Because I was watching these brothers on the internet, I was like, where in the hell you come from with that? Now they got the Moorish Shrine Temple of America. I'm like, y'all got too many temples. Let me see your literature. And as you do that, I want you to show this. Show that. Okay, that should be it. Now this is a letter written on June 26, 1930. Now this is an old letter, brothers and sisters. Old. And it was written like this here. See the ring? Can you see it?
I can see the format.
Okay, right now. It was written like this.
Okay. Yes.
So some people talking about, well, the prophet ain't real because the prophet didn't sign it that way. That ain't the prophet's signature. There's a whole lot of letters that's written that ain't got the prophet's signature on. But the people that wrote it for him, typed it up for him, put their name on it by permission of the prophet. By permission of the prophet. So who's who? So we open it up. Everybody got any questions before we start?
No, sir.
Who's who? I watch all these new Moors talk shows. Think Tank, Wink, Blink. You look too long, you never know. Tahaka started a hell of a thing. Dr. Trump Tahaka Jr.
So he's a doctor now.
Yeah, he a doctor of the law.
Oh.
You know, he's one of those doctors that paperwork don't work. I want y'all to think about this. With all these people interviewing all these other Moors, what are their qualifications? Now, I just got talent. Let me see what the brother said here. By the people out there in California, some of the Cosmo Hill people. Let me see what the brother said, man. Let me see comment. His comment. We answered your question because we answered your question because we answered your question, but because your hatred and ignorance, you fail to comprehend the answer. Morris Literature 29 invalidates all your questioning. Where did the prophet say we were Sufi? All you gotta do, come on and ask. See, if the brother come on and ask, I answer. When did the prophet say we're going to have a Moorish American Ramadans? Yeah, I mean, you say you were the governor of California. Why weren't you here now? What happened? Now, he's defending his leader, and I'm sure all I asked him was some simple questions. You know, you should be able to answer the question. One, we simply asked what temple your leadership was in and who gave him his card. Two, who made him a so-called adept? Three, we also asked if he's still in that temple and had taken due charge of it, if this was he had started from his unity crowd. Four, when was he appointed as the so-called national grand chief? Especially since our prophet never had such a title of national grand chief. I said what the title meant. Five, how is it that your national grand chief is demonstrating wrapping copper cord around a crystal and teaching that it's somehow power to cure or uplift somebody? Where can we find this in our holy prophets teaching? Six, what sort of unity can you be talking about, especially if your so-called grand chief isn't even an exact same temple grand body which gave him his original card? I go into what I done, but you know. But he never stated, I want y'all to understand this. He never answered up to the Constitution, the standard of law. He started talking about such and such chapter to evaluate what I'm saying. How can they evaluate what I'm saying? I'm saying what the prophet said. This is Moorish literature, right?
Yes.
This is not Rael's literature. This is Moorish literature. And in Moorish literature, it says on page 5, he's went to page 9. On page 5, a divine warning by the prophet for the nations. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are one family, bearing one free family name, one free national name. Those who fail, wait a minute, let me stop right there. What's the constitution of the Moorish government? What is the constitution of the Moorish government? That's all I'm asking. Now, this is what I'm going to read it to you because a lot of y'all don't know it. I'm going to read it to you, and it says, we have to go to Acts 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We teach our people their nationality and their divine creed. Wait a minute. So I'm asking, according to our Moorish constitutional standard, according to the prophet Noble Drew Ali, what temple gave him did he join? What was his address? Now, this is what I'm saying. What was his address? By that, I'm saying, was he the Moorish Zion Temple of America, of California? Or was he the Moorish Zion Temple of America, temple number 5 or 6? That's your address. Technically, that's your address. Those that come out my temple, Grand Temple number 2, that's the address. I'm a member of Grand Temple number 2. That's your damn address. But I can't know this brother's address. I can't know who gave him his nationality card. I can't know none of that. You don't know it. I talked to 2, 3 of his brothers. Let me tell you. We was in the car one day, this last brother called. We got to talking. I said, "What brother? What temple was he in?" "I don't know." I say, "What are you saying?" "I'm gonna add them." He had them over there. A sheep. But he couldn't tell me who made his leader a sheep. He couldn't show his nationality card. He couldn't show me what part of the Moorish nation he did Act 6 in, and he kept up with Act 7. You can't just be in Act 6. The prophet said all Moors and Muslims must keep in line with all necessities. That's Act 7. So I'm asking about where he do Act 6 and 7 at. How do you maintain his nationality? Now I give you an example. I was talking with this brother out of Baltimore, and we was talking about Trump to Haka Jr. And I said, you know, when he left Brad Bill E for turn all that stuff in, no, he wasn't what I said, brother, that ain't what the prophet said. See, the prophet put up the supreme grand sheet, and the prophet stepped back, and he was the permanent moderator of the Moorish Scientific America. He's the permanent chairman of the Moorish Scientific America. Everything must live up to his law. Go to Act 1. Doesn't it say Grand Sheik and chairman power to make law, enforce law, citizens of the prophet with the assistance of the prophet? And the grand body. But since you don't have no religious teachings, no religious teacher over there, you just going by I say, he say. These brothers talk like what they say is right. Like their tongue is the Quran. Well, how you start a Ramadan? Niggas, y'all celebrating the Arab Ramadans. Y'all hold up there, and they got slaves. These Arabs are telling you when you can have Ramadan, and they got slaves. They're enslaving and castrating our people right now. The prophet didn't have no slaves. The prophet freed us from that conception. But it's in the Quran of Mecca, but it's not in our Quran. But you want to come at me, but Negro, y'all don't want nothing Moorish. Y'all should have jumped up and down as soon as you we got a Moorish holiday. We got a whole month. We can sit and study our Quran and stuff. We can follow instructions. I don't want to do that because, you know, that's the Rael stuff. I want to talk about stuff I don't know. I want to go with the slaveholder. Right now in Africa, they castrating our men, raping the women. Right now in Africa. But you rather follow those faggots than to go over here with me. Now y'all tell me how smart your leadership really is. You want unity, but you're going behind the Arabs who's killing your people right now in Libya. They had a whole thing up there. But before Libya fell, the Sudan had slavery. Remember the Tony Brown show? He did something that was a rarity in the 90s. He had 2 little African brothers up there that was Arab slaves. And they did the stuff with the camel. When the person brought, he paid $300 for one, $500 for the other. And the Arabs was raping them. Another thing he did was on the Sudan, when the Sudan, the Christians and the Muslims were fighting each other, cutting each other up, enslaving each other. They showed where these Muslims were trying to get their daughters back for being kidnapped by the Christians. And when they caught them, they cut their arms off. Yeah. And when the Moors was doing it to the Christians, they cut the Christians' arms off and hands off. That's historical. Yeah, that's in the 90s.
She had a name for him. I
And now, right now, they got y'all hollering, oh, the Muslims in the Sudan, they killing the Christian. You better look up history. Why you got these dumb teachers? These people that don't know nothing. Oh, but they know how to tell you to take a copper cord and wrap it around a piece of glass and you can be saved. They selling this in their stores. Or they doing this here. They giving away some food. They good Christians. They're giving away some bean pies and some potatoes. And that's supposed to be great. And the drug dealing moles doing that. And they got one group of drug dealing moles out of Michigan, and those punks, they got busted with $21 million in their houses. And there ain't $1 million temple up there. They had their black fezzes on, riding around in Bentleys and stuff. One of them got busted down here because when they found out up there in Detroit that the jury had found him guilty, he cut his little ankle brace off and ran down here and got busted in Atlanta. But they got busted with $21 million between them. Cash. You know the government kept some of that. Cash. But there ain't no $1 million temple up there in Detroit. Not $1 million temple in Detroit. Not one. Not a half of one. But y'all mad at me because I talk about it. I'm so glad the prophet ain't here because y'all be cursing him out, trying to rob him and stick him up. I say he ain't no good because guess what? The prophet said the nation of earth don't want the truth. Because the two stir and the two straight. Let's see what else the prophet said about your citizenship. He said, those who fail to recognize the free national name with their constitution and government are classified under the. Then I asked that brother, what government he in? What temple he in? What's his address? They're classified as undesirable, are subject to all inferior names, abuses, and mistreatment that citizens can bestow upon them. That it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitution standard of law of any free national government to cling to the names and principles alluded into slavery. Wait a minute. Oh, so y'all call the brother Cosmo Hill and Boaz and all that. But wait a minute. What government is he part of? Because he came into the temple, but he's not in that temple anymore. And y'all didn't know what temple he came in. I told the brother, if you go up there and read my post, I said 9 out of 10 times he joined up with somebody I kicked out the temple. 9 out of 10 times he either joined somebody kicked out the temple or somebody ran away and tried to form their own temple because I was too harsh on them. The other thing is they got kicked out by the other people. Where's home at? How you gonna have unity? Well, I'm about unity. But you ain't in the temple you started with. Now you got your own temple. Now y'all not the Moorish Sign Temple of America, no, y'all the Moorish Sign Temple of California. How you change the prophet teaching? Now you're the Moorish Sign Temple of America, Oakland, #1. Oakland, #1. Y'all alter the prophet teaching at will because ain't nobody saying nothing. Nobody want to be in unity with that. On Judgment Day, I want to say, you know, Allah, I know the brother's wrong. He called himself the National Grand Sheik. I know your prophet didn't make that up. Then you ask me a dumb question. Why I call myself the Mahdi? Because I'm a renewer of the faith, fool. Well, our Grand Sheik ain't like, you're right. He's like a lot of other Grand Sheiks that's lying and stuff. Tahaka ain't the only one. Mr. Trump Tahaka Jr. ain't the only one out there lying, Steve. Woo! But anyway. Who's who? They had a song out talking about who's zooming who. By Aretha. Question. Who's zooming you? I watch these talk shops, listen to some brothers, they talking about against the Yaku theory. Moors, y'all should just keep your damn mouth closed. Mo don't know nothing. Belial didn't know nothing. Belial just had record. He just sat on a bunch of papers. How did I know Belial know? Because he's a homosexual. I told Belial to his face he's a homosexual. He never said it wasn't. He never said I was lying. When I told what his grandmama said, his grandmama told me in front of him that he wasn't no supreme grand chief. He gonna tell me in later years after she been dead 10, 50 years where she was seen now. Yes, I got all types of letters and depositions, brothers and sisters, about what went on back then. I'm going to say this now. The majority of y'all are stumbling blocks. But I'm a mastermind. I'm going to turn you to stepping stones. I'm going to turn you to stepping stones. I'm going to make it worth something. Even if it's just to get us off the ground. Well, what have you done since the 30s, since the, you saying that dumb stuff. The prophet, he started in 1913. How come it went to 1925 he was made a prophet? How many years of that damn fool? He tell you about 1930, when the Moore Scientific was founded. In 1913 AD, Newark, New Jersey, right? Well, when did he reclaim his prophethood? Because he didn't call himself a prophet in 1913. Brother, sisters. He didn't call himself a prophet when he was up there with Marcus Garvey. Brothers, sisters. He didn't start calling himself a prophet. He got to Chicago, Illinois. He said this here. Y'all go ahead and laugh at me, but tomorrow you'll cry. I tell you fools right now, y'all arguing fussing with me, but tomorrow you're going to cry. Because I'm like Noah here. I've been trying, listen. Braswell Bay and all them try to have unity meetings because of me. Because I started the quest for unity back in the 70s. And every time I told the Moors, all we're going to put on the table was the prophet teaching, we heard bad stuff. I'll never forget when I told Prayfield that. I said, Brother Prayfield, well, he said, how we going to do this? I said, what we're going to do is just put the prophet's teaching on the table, and we're going to discuss and go by that. Well, I'm a follower of Timothy Dingle-Will, a.k.a. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Brother Rael. I said, well, brother, you can't sit at the table. You going to tell me you following a man and claim to be the prophet? And I met that man back in the late 70s, mid 80s. I mean, in the 70s, when he used to come to 957th Street when I was a Blackstone Ranger. I used to go up there. I remember we buried our brother up there. May Allah be pleased with him. Abdullah, Muhammad Bey. We went to bury him up there. And I didn't know we went to the same place that they had buried Timothy Dingle-Will at. And we got there and we had that thing, and the head, the chaplain, or whatever you want to call him over the church, he came and said, we buried your leader. I said, what you mean you buried my leader? My leader died in 1929, sir. He said, no, I'm talking about 70-something. Your leader died here. I said, what? He took me over. He got this long plaque. He said, as long as plaque I had. And the plaque said, Timothy Dingle-Will, a.k.a. Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his airtime. I said, they actually put that on the man's death thing? Why you dislike me? Because I tell the truth. And I'm going to show you how bold and daring I am. I tell you, come on my show and let's talk. You got something you want to say against me? Come on the show. You want to prove me wrong? Come on the show. Because 95% of everything you got, you heard from somebody else that it ain't true. Think about that. Belial couldn't teach nobody nothing. He didn't know nothing. I had to come out the room and help him make ideas. in 2005. Ken Union was there. I heard him. I said, man, I couldn't take no more. I said, I can't let this happen. These brothers, see, I got to give something. So I went out. I said, Brad, what you doing? You know this is right. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot. He didn't forget. He's making stuff up. They probably recognize he did something different than the last time he made them address. And the people he made address for, they probably see him do something different. He ain't never done the same thing. People now make you have address carry bricks to be a minister. You pick up a bucket full of bricks and run down the hallway. Sister called me here one day from Virginia, was asking why the brother burned her in her forehead. I said, you let somebody burn you in your damn forehead? She got to laughing. Uh-oh. We got the guy with me. Let's see what he has to say. Islam. You gay, right?
Did you not pull your penis out in the middle of the streets with a guy? He pulled this out.
Yes, I did. I pulled my penis out. I pulled my penis out against the brother and told him to suck it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. No, that ain't no fag because I didn't do it.
No.
You's a fag because you sent me pictures. Listen. He said, all right. He said, all right, he a fag. He admitted. He said, all right. He said, all right, he a fag. He a fag. He hold penises. He hold other people's dicks. So anyway, this is what he wants. He wants to come on my show because he ain't got nothing else to do. He's following me. He's a fag. I like talking to him every now and then. But then you say, yes, I did. I was a gangster. Yeah, I told a brother in the streets. He called himself a pimp and talk crazy to me. I tell you crazy stuff. I'll zip my pants. I'll pee on you. I ain't never said I wouldn't do that. Ask that brother up there, Cujo. Cujo called me and said, you still got that pistol? You still got this? And Cujo ain't never been here. This brother's holding other people's penises, taking pictures of himself, looking at his dookie hole. I had to get rid of that. Now, if he had any sense, he would just say, I know I was wrong. I want to come back and do the right thing. So I can tell him hell no. See? Because he can't come back. He is far gone as the sun is from the earth. That's millions of miles. At one time, I had great hope for the brother. See, he calls me because he wants some attention. You know how little hoes is. They want attention. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to call him a hoe. No. He lost. He's a lost soul. He wants some attention from y'all. He be on other people's talk shows reading from my book. He didn't say nothing about that. He's teaching from my book, and the guy got him on, old Bumpy Face got him on the show. Well, read that from. You reading from my book because you ain't qualified to teach nothing. That's like, what's that guy send me the AI stuff, Mo? Well, the brother Friday sent me the stuff about what makes water wet.
Hannibal.
Yeah, Hannibal Eel. Now, Hannibal Eel, I asked him what makes water wet. He go to AI and give me everything. Was it everything AI said?
Word for word, yeah.
He went and printed off everything AI said and sent it to me. As I answered your question. No, you didn't. This particular one here, he went on somebody else's television show to teach from my book, but he called me. Now, you know what that lets you know? You ain't got a life. Without me, he ain't got a life. He listening now. He ain't got a life. He got stuff to talk. But I'm not mad. I'm not gonna be mad at him. I enjoy him calling every now and then, you know, because I like ha ha he too. I like seeing the little clowns, little men get out the little red car with the little big feet and red noses and blow their horns. See how well they listen to me? Now check, he could have listened to me inside the temple, couldn't he? He could have listened to me this hard inside the temple, follow my instructions, he'd still be here. But instead, he let some hooker, some female, trick him out into the reality, because she sees pictures of him in the bathroom at truck stops, taking pictures of himself naked, sending it up, and other women, other men. And he's sitting up there with a picture looking at his ass. Bent over, I couldn't listen. I had to delete all that stuff. I said, man, this is too hard. But the last time he was on the show, he said that if he's holding a penis with a big vein in it, it wasn't his. These are the type of people that 7-Eleven, all them have on their show. Yeah, he a mastermind. You got my stuff. Won't you give credit? He reading from my book. I'm not reading from his. I'm just telling him how sad his life is. Yes, sir, Bob. So I'll let you know what we go through. Before we close out, anybody got something on that, Mo? No? Think about that. I can count on my enemies. I can't count on my friends, huh? I can count on my Moors. I just can't count on them, huh? These other characters. This is why I appreciate true scientists, true study, people that study. I recently was talking with one of the twins, and he did something I did, let me show you, that we did decades ago. Me and Saint Sinead Hill had called ourselves blowing up the pictures of the prophet in the office so we could see the books. But they were too messed up for us to look at them, but we had the big pictures. We said one day we'll be able to get them all. And these moles here, let me show you how deep these brothers are. These brothers went and dug it up, strained their eyeballs. Because you had to blow that stuff up very large to see what's on the cup. And they was telling me about the brother saying, you know, brother right here, it has some stuff in here about the man in the cave, about coming out being a human being. He said, the stuff that you've been teaching, the prophet had, and then, listen, this what got me. He told me this today, not yesterday. He got one of the books off the table, and the book says this here. What do colored mean? Colored means anything stained, varnished, or dyed. That's exactly what the prophet taught. But y'all don't believe he taught that type of stuff because your leaders ain't teaching you that. But these brothers, they ain't even in my grand body. These brothers, they're going to be a monster. When they get 60 and 70, I can sit back and listen to them and my members. Because I got some sharp members. I got some members so sharp that if there was a razor blade, when you take it out of the pack, they cut some hair. This brother could have been one of those. But he wouldn't listen. He got caught up in his lower self. That's all he got now is his lower self. That's why he called. When people call you like this here constantly, all they got is their lower self. They're so far from their higher self, they couldn't find them if they had a magnifying glass. If they broke down each one of their molecules in their body, they wouldn't find their higher self. And that's a shame. That's a cold shame. As Rick James said, cold-blooded. That's why I be so proud when I see brothers like the twins and them going in a lesson, going beyond. Because I didn't ask them to blow up no pictures. They did that on their own curiosity. Their Islamic curiosity. They a benefit to where they at. They're going to be the ones that turn stumbling blocks to stepping stones where they at. I got some brothers over here, that's all they do. Turn stumbling blocks to stepping stones. You want to know what I'm talking about? Go look at that movie called Priest. About them fighting vampires. And the man tell a woman, and she pick up rocks and throw them. And he jumps on the rocks to fight the big dinosaur, the monster. She turns stumbling blocks to stepping stones. Now that's a Muslim. A Muslim can turn stumbling blocks to stepping stones. See, a lot of y'all in the house that Jack built. And you know about Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pound of water. Jill fell down and broke a crown. And Jack went on the order without her. Y'all in the house that Jack built. We in the sign of taking stumbling blocks and turning to stepping stones. Don't get me wrong. This is why I have to respect all people that say they're Moors. I try not to talk to this fool like that, which I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop doing that with him because he claimed to be a Moor. You know, one of the kings that I met in my lifetime say, "There's no big eyes or little U's." We all sit around the table. There's no big eyes and little U's. And under that study, under that degree, that measurement, I'm looking at all these more. Some of them got newspapers. Some of them are going to the public auctions. Some of them are got involved with the states that they're in, the political body. Some of them got trucks and stuff. You a good Mo. You ain't got to be with me to be a good Mo, to be a down Mo. Because one day, we all going to get together and your services will be needed. One day, we'll get together and we have enough money to take the brothers that's driving trucks for other people right now to get their own truck company. One day. Allah is God. As long as Allah is God, hope would ever be our beacon light. When I cross the high rise desert, I have faith, hope, and love. That's right, I have faith, hope, and love. And guess what? I know how to take a block and make it to a stepping stone. Peace.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers' divine creed and principles. We ask this in the holy name and of the seventh Elohim. Amen. Islam, Islam, Islam. And join us next Sunday at the same time for If the Truth Be Told, hosted by Sheikh Dr. Rasadi Hill, the Moorish Mahdi, our Chief of Ministers.
And please note, pardon me, Mo, you know, now this guy here, this couch guy, if he can call and try to talk, why can't y'all? See, he's trying to prove a point. At least he's trying. I'm gonna stop messing with him. At least he's trying. Y'all ain't even trying. I have to give him more honor than I give all of you Tlakas, all you universal cosmos, all you Jones Bay, all you Sharif A Bay that say the prophet ain't perfect. Ali Men's who turn around and support this European against our prophet, say our prophet ain't nothing but a crumb. I tell all y'all this is Bismillah, Bismillah. Islam, no finish closing us out. I'm sorry.
Islam. Yeah, right. Honor to the prophet. Know what you want to make. Who's the living God of Allah? The controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy. We're talking about the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy, the controversy. What is this? Today we're talking about the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The chief minister ain't this. The chief minister that. I didn't form nothing. Nothing. All I did was continue what was trying to be discontinued. 1995, Supreme Grand Council that is, stood up and say the prophet grand body is no more. And I said, no, Joe, that won't go. No, Joe, that won't go. That won't go. Yeah. I said I will continue on. I said, well, Brother Rael, we're going to make you a supreme member of the Supreme Grand Council. I say, all is well with that idea. Well, guess what? The grand body still. The grand body still is the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. We're talking about the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. What is this? Today we're talking about the controversy. The controversy, the controversy. The chief minister ain't this. The chief minister that. I didn't form nothing. Nothing. All I did was continue what was trying to be discontinued. 1995, Supreme Grand Council that is, stood up and say the prophet grand body is no more. And I said, no, Joe, that won't go. No, Joe, that won't go. That won't go. Yeah. And I said I will continue on. They said, well, Brother Rael, we're going to make you a supreme member of the Supreme Grand Council. I said, all is well with that idea. Well, guess what? The grand body still. The grand body still. The controversy. The controversy. The controversy. The controversy. The controversy. The controversy. The controversy.